Alrighty, well, good evening, good afternoon, good morning, and for some of our listeners, how are you? Welcome to Modern Spiritual. I'm Aeson, and of course, with tonight is Hazel Firefly. How are you, darling?
Well, as you can see, I'm still sweating with this weird heat that we've got.
Is this going to be y'all's hottest summer over there? Because I swear it's
Yeah,
our mildest.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Like, we have window air conditioners because I live in an old house. We've not had to turn all three of them on. We've only ran with two this year.
The thing is, we are not used to this heat. All we get are those little fans that spin round.
Right. And that just
Oh,
doesn't work.
no, it don't.
No, no.
It don't. Definitely not.
Yeah. Well, the topic we're talking about tonight is something I'm seeing on the rise a lot. And I'm sure you are too. And I see
Yes.
it in two different directions. The first direction is, oh, you're pretty. You're nice. I'd like to date you, but I'm on the other side of the world in a foreign country. Can we chat and be friends?
And then I'm a widow. My wife passed away. I'm a single parent.
Mm-hmm.
Can you pay for my ticket to come over because I've got money tied up?
Uh-huh.
I've come across, and this is going to be really important for our viewers, so many people are using TikTok now.
Oh, yeah.
There's a man on TikTok. I was seething. I've even reported it. He comes across as a psychic medium.
Mm-hmm.
He starts off his readings really, really nice.
Mm-hmm.
And then he goes on to say, there's a family member around you that's a peddler. I'll write it in private chat to you because I don't know if we're allowed to actually say this word. Right, I've just sent it to you.
No, we cannot.
No, that's why I wanted to check
Right.
with you. But
Yeah.
you understand.
Yeah.
This person have brought everybody to your family. Is going to have bad luck and bad karma. I can release this karma for you for £5,000.
Oh, that's an older one. The
But
other
this
one
man,
is I can bring your soulmate to you for 500.
yeah,
For 500 pounds or
yeah.
$5,000.
But this man have just come onto TikTok now. And because a lot of our younger viewers would be watching TikTok more,
Uh huh.
it's more of a warning for them.
Hmm. Well, they're the old scams we need to talk about too. Okay, let's
Definitely.
confirm some. One, none of your deceased relatives were rich, living in Nicaragua or anywhere else in the world, and left you money. That is a
Yes.
very large scam.
Yes. The one thing a good psychic will always do, well, say psychic, I'm going to say medium psychic,
Okay.
will do is give you clarification that that person who they're communicating with is a passed over loved one.
Right. Because it may not be passed over.
That is so, so true. How can I put it? So many people say, because as you know, I'm a medium myself.
Right.
So
Not
many
large,
people will,
hopefully.
so many people will say, "How do I know this is my person you're connected to?"
Mm-hmm.
And I will give that clarity.
Right. Well, and that's why I like British mediumship because it's evidence first.
Yes,
Okay.
yes,
I've got a J name here, like John or Jake.
yeah,
I'm seeing a miner's hat,
yeah,
with a black hat. I'm seeing him with very heavy work boots, and he's just dropping mud on them.
yeah.
Then I also hear like the ragtag band. So I'm looking at maybe 1920, 1930s. Does that make sense? This is what you should be getting.
Yes, definitely, definitely. Because a word of advice for people who want to communicate with loved ones this past, don't feed the reader.
Please don't.
As you know yourself, That happens so much.
Well, let's clarify what happens when you feed the reader. Okay, first of all, they're going to go hunting for that person. Yeah, my guy David, if he's got to do mediumship, he'll grumble, but we'll be fine with it. He wants to give information to make sure he verified that he picked up the right soul, and it's like, this is who's coming through. But if you want to talk to your mom and you want to know what she, where she hid her biscuit recipe, which is taped in the kitchen cabinet, but anyhow, you're going to come in and say, I'd like to speak to my mom. Her name is this. Her date of birth and death is this for me. And this is the information I need from her.
Do you want to do an example to each other?
Sure. Now,
You
we
be
read
the
different styles, but go for it.
Okay, you're the reader, and I come in and I say, I need to connect with my mum. Her date of birth is she around me?
Uh-huh. She is, but mostly early in the mornings.
Yeah.
In
Yeah.
the
And then
her house gets too busy. And she's like, forget this crap.
And then the readers are like trying to feed energy from you.
Right.
Like I have readings and I give nothing apart from my name and date of birth.
Right. And questions.
Because, yes, because I don't know if you're the same. That's enough information for me to go on.
Yeah, very much so. I prefer name, date of birth, and a specific question. If you give me general, you're going to get general.
People who ask me general, I point blank now say, I don't work with generals. I need a specific question.
Yeah. Because, general, here's an example of general for Hazel. Generally, I think that you need to be a little bit more attentive to your accounting and your business and up your marketing game a little bit. Generally, I think that, you need to start getting out more because I don't think you get enough sun during the day. She lives in freaking England. Of course she doesn't get enough sun during the day.
But that's it, because straight away, I've given you that information by you hearing my accent.
Yeah.
And that's what I mean when you feed a reader. Like, if a reader is bombarding you with questions, don't even go there.
See, I don't like asking questions.
No, I don't.
Prefer to make statements.
Yes.
Okay, and that's my style of reading. Is I'll make a statement and you can give it back to me. Like, are you sure about that? Like, is the car really red or is it more maroon?
Yeah.
That's what I prefer my client to come back with the question for me to clarify. Because for me, I don't question. If Spirit says the ball is blue, get over it.
Yeah. I'll always give what Spirit gives me. Then I'll say after like 4 sentences, do you understand?
Right.
So that's the clarity I need to know that we are connected.
Right. See, and that's the difference between me and you. I don't check for connection.
No.
I don't do connection. It is. There you go.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, when I do mediumship, my mediumship is different. And I think it's because of how I was trained. I was trained by a Scottish medium.
Yeah.
So they read this weird way they want the date of birth, the date of death, the name, and a question for the soul.
Yeah.
Whereas you're like, and you do an example of your mediumship.
If somebody comes to me and asks me for a reading of somebody that's passed over, I'll have the name, the date of birth. I always ask, no matter what reading I do, for 30 seconds to tune in. Once I've tuned in, then I will come back with, say they're asking about their dad. This man was happy, but also very harsh with his words. This man never, ever used to like having animals around. You know as well as I know, it's very rare for somebody not to like animals. So straight away, that is my clarity. Then I'll give that to the customer and I'll say, can you resonate with this? Do you understand this? Soon as they say yes, I know I'm connected. And that's when it just blurts out.
Right.
You know, like some of the information I give, and then they'll come back and say, can you ask him where? I had one lady, it was her stepmom. She had hidden the original will from her husband so that his children didn't have what they deserved.
Right.
The solicitor he had used had died, so they couldn't get to that solicitor. But she asked me to give clarity of which solicitor the paperwork was passed to.
Mm-hmm.
So I could give her that clarity, and she knew straight away that that's where it was. And then all that was sorted, and she came back to me and said, can you please tell Dad thank you? We've got everything we should have had.
Right.
And it's random things, you know for yourself. When
Right.
you're working with spirit, the most random things come to you, means nothing to us, but everything to the client.
Yeah, I mean, music comes to me and it's like, why the hell am I hearing Frank
Yeah,
Sinatra? And
yeah,
one of the favorites, and it's because in this area it was such a big vehicle. Because I normally do mediumship only person to person, meaning I
yes,
don't do online. There is no way for me to do it by email. Um,
no, no,
is I'll hear Pink Cadillac, that
yeah,
1950 song, and I am like, or Lincoln this or Chevy, and I'm like, what's the deal with the damn car?
yeah,
And they're like, oh, he drove this for years, and I'm like, you could have just shown me the car. I didn't need the earthworm in my head.
yeah, yeah. And it's things like smells we get.
Uh-huh.
Like, my guide is really, really good with showing me, well, say showing me, making me smell smells.
Right.
And like, I can't stand the smell of fish being cooked. I
Right.
can't stand the smell of it in the house.
Uh-huh.
And I was reading for a fisherman's daughter, and he had gone overboard at sea when she was little. And I could tell her that because my guide kept giving me the smell of fish, and I was heaving my guts up when I was doing her reading.
Mm-hmm.
But even though it made me feel poorly, it was what she needed to hear at the same time.
Exactly.
And
Yeah.
that's how our guides work.
Right. I mean, I'll get smells sometimes. I'll get ideas. I'll
Yeah,
get thoughts, and it's like I don't understand this, but here we go. I'm looking at one of the weirdest ones. I'm looking at newspapers stacked in a kitchen cabinet.
yeah,
It makes no sense to me. Oh, she was a librarian and she kept every newspaper that had a major event in it. Is it
yeah,
including Elvis Presley? Oh, yes, that was a major. Like, and it's conversational.
yeah.
What I cannot do, and this still aggravates me to this day, is guarantee that person showing up.
No, no. I always say, this is going to sound random. That's why I always ask, can you understand this?
Right.
Because then, if it's not the person that they don't want to come through, I then explain that it's obviously not the person you called to come through, because on times they don't want to come through, but
Mm-hmm.
they will put somebody else in their place.
Right.
And that's the thing with readings like that. Not always the person will come through. If the person can see you're upset, if they think you're in a bad mindset, spirit won't allow them to come through.
Right. But the other part there, and the part that, it always aggravates me with spirit, is sometimes there is somebody else that shows up, and it's like, no, they are talking to me today.
Yeah,
And it's like, okay, so we got a demander here. This is what I'm getting. What's the problem?
yeah.
Yeah.
And that's the hard thing as well. And the other thing is, give your bleeding correct date of birth. The
Yes.
correct date of birth of the person that's passed.
Yes. Or if it's like mine, know the range.
Yes,
Yes.
yes,
Like we believe they crossed in 1979. They may have crossed in 78. They may have crossed in 75,
yeah,
but around that time. Because then it's like, okay, we're not exactly sure, you know, or we're not exactly sure if she was born in 1911 or 1920. It's somewhere in that range. The spirit knows it, but it's for the guide to go find it.
yes, Yes, because your guide have got to connect with that person
Mhm.
to invite that person to come into our readings. If
Right,
that person don't want to, there's nothing we can do.
right. And can you imagine? We're sitting here doing a show, and somebody just pops up at your door there and says, Caitlin wants to have a conversation with you. Will you please come with me?
Yeah.
You know, I don't think people get that idea that it's like, not
No,
always, not how they
no,
go.
no. I remember one day I went to a medium just after I'd lost my nan.
Mm-hmm.
I lost my mum 8 years before I lost my nan.
Uh-huh.
And I went to see this medium, and she said, I've got this woman here. She says, get off your ass and sort your head out. And I was like, my nan wouldn't speak to me like that. And she said, I don't think it's your nan, it's a lot younger person. And the reading went on, and the medium said to me, Hazel, will you please listen? And I just went, oh my God, that's my mum.
Yeah.
And she went, I couldn't bring your nan through. She didn't want to come. And I was like, that's fine.
Yeah.
That's fine. That's the way it works.
Right. The other thing, but you bring up a great topic there. How long after your name had passed did you go?
I think it was 9 months after, but
Yeah.
she obviously wasn't ready to communicate.
Either that or she was like, not there, not ready yet, not got her head
Yeah,
together, because I've had them come days after, and I'm like,
yeah,
they're not even processed yet. They're sitting
no,
in that office
no.
because I've got to, every time I look at the afterlife, it really reminds me of Beetlejuice, the movie,
Yes,
with that
yeah.
office, and I'm like, they're not even processed yet. They're still in their waiting area.
And that's when I say to people, they've got a process they need to go through. The
Hmm.
same as you've got a grieving process,
Right,
they've got to go towards that light and settle down themselves.
right, and be ready to really be comfortable with it,
Yes, yes,
um, because it's a whole new experience, especially if you've grown up in a different ideology than what you expect to get over.
yeah,
Or even worse, and I think it's even worse when you grow up in an ideology and people, um, and you believe that you're going to the bad place.
yeah,
Whatever you want to call the bad place, the trash heap, the gutter, the lower vibrations, and you get over there, and I have yet to be like, and I'm even like, you know, doing paranormal investigations, dealt with some people that done some really negative things.
yeah, yeah,
And they're like, yeah, we're doing remedial work, but no, not really.
yeah. And that's the thing. Spirit got different levels.
Hmm.
Spirit are, people ask, do I believe in spirit? Well, obviously, I work with them constantly.
Right.
Do I see spirit? If spirit want to make themselves seen, they will do that to me.
Hmm.
But when people go for readings, please, please, please get that clarity,
Yes. Get
because readings are not
clarification.
cheap. That's true, yeah.
And see, here's the other thing. Research your reader. Google's a
Yes,
magical thing. See the reader's name in there. Do some research. It'll have
yes,
some feedback. It'll have some information on there. If you pop in Psychic Madame Blavatsky, and the only thing you can find is the original English meaning from the 1830s, there's a problem.
yes,
Any professional reader will be listed online.
yes. I agree totally, totally. And that's the other thing. Don't be pushed into a reading either.
Yeah.
So many people feel the need. How can I explain this? How many people do you get coming to you and say, my friend told me I need a reading?
I get some that way. Normally, I get the husbands. Like, I
Yes,
read the wife, and then a couple of days later, I get the husband book. And it's like, my wife booked this. She says, I really need to talk to you. And I don't really want to. And I'm like, that's fine, bud. We've got 15, 30, whatever time.
yeah,
What is bothering you? Well, she said you said something about my job. Well, yeah, you hate it. Yeah, I do hate it. And that's how I deal with that.
Yeah.
But don't
Yeah.
come to me with problems that you're not if you don't ask me questions you don't want to know the answer to.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because I'm going to
And
give it to you, even if it's burn his shit.
and that's the other thing. Clients need to be ready to hear the truth.
Yes. And all readings aren't fluffy.
No, they're not. And we know when you give somebody bad news,
Hmm.
they're more inclined to leave bad feedback. But the way I look at it, that bad feedback proves
Hmm.
that you were true to your guide.
Right. And true to the reading. Now, here's the other thing is, I don't stop.
Mm.
Here's an example. Your husband's cheating on you. You're going to go through a divorce. He's going to basically not pay child support, but you actually move into the career you've been wanting to do for 20 years.
Yeah. Yeah. It's about as well when you give him bad news in a reading, you always give the bad news first, but give positive news afterwards.
Well, you take them through that bad.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, I
And
don't like
that's
leaving my clients in like, well, you're getting a divorce.
no, no. And
Unless
that's
they're happy
the
about the divorce. I mean, some people just are enamored that they're getting a divorce.
yeah. Like me, I threw a party.
Yeah,
I was glad of it.
yeah, you know. And those are things that, newer readers don't. I don't like when I hit character limits. Sometimes, and that's something you gotta, we should talk about because, a lot of our email stuff will hit character limits.
Yes. Yes.
And it's like, come back here, come back here.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
wasn't done with you.
And that's the hard thing as well. If how can I put it? If you've got loads of questions, you're better off going to the platform of where you can have a proper conversation chat,
Right.
like Zodiac.
Hmm.
I believe Keen do that as well.
We do. Keen does that as well.
But
Um,
then they get all the questions answered then, and you're not restricted to characters.
you're not requested, yeah, and that's the difference. And I really think that Ingenio has done a magical thing here.
Yes.
Okay, and it's because of how it's set up. Now, Zodiac and Keen look a lot alike. They have chat and they have phone, but Zodiac has different services. Keen has email readings. Perfect match there. We have Fortunica for your quick and fast and dirty. Am I
Yeah.
getting the job? Is he going to marry me? You want something deeper? Great. You can also go there and get into a lot more service based, like teach me this, or I want the year ahead spread. You can order a
Yes.
360 reading, that type of thing. And then we've got Modern Spiritualists, where I have classes over there, so you can learn to read tarot, you can learn astrology, you can learn candle magic. I'm getting ready to launch Take Back Your Power in about 2 months over there, and that is a life coaching course. So you have those, but then you also have appointments. You can,
Yes.
if you want a proper reading, go over there and book an appointment. If you want a proper reading, get the 30-minute or an
Yes.
hour appointment. If you've got a messy life, get the hour. We'll need it. And then you can sit there and actually have a face to face, just like you're watching this
Yeah.
show with me. You can have a face to face conversation.
And as well, either have a pen and paper by the side of you,
Hmm.
because you are given a hell of a lot of information in that
Right,
time,
right.
or even use your phone to record the reading.
Yeah,
If you say to a reader, just to make you aware, I'm going to record this reading,
okay,
readers are fine with that as long as you give advance notice that that's what you're going to be doing.
right. And
Because,
we're used to being recorded.
because for us, it's an everyday thing.
Yeah,
You know, I wish these services would offer that service then.
Well, see, here's the problem with that. If they offered recorded readings, I think that some advisors would lose their crap.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's like, nah, record me all you want, video me all you want. That's why I have big cards so you can see what I'm doing with them.
Yes.
All right, so We're going to tiptoe into this as nicely as we can. Catfishing by psychic. This is annoying to me.
It really makes me angry because I don't know if you feel the same. Clients come to us when they have an issue.
Right.
We are there to help the client. We are not there to screw the money out of them.
Well, not only that, but we're not there. Even if for the spellcasters, granted, I know how to do spells, I don't sell them. Get over it. If you want to know how to do something, call me and I'll give you the recipe, but you got to do the work yourself.
I'm the same, as you know.
Yeah. Well, for a period of time, locally, I would offer job spells.
Yeah.
I got tired of getting hired places.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's the thing. And that's what readers, I feel, not genuine readers, they take advantage of the vulnerable.
Well, and then we have to do the cleanup.
Yes.
Now, I get so tired of this, and I get so many of them. And here in the U.S., I'm sure there's a board. Like if there's a proper scam artist in your neighborhood,
yeah,
you can report them to the board.
Yes, we report them to trading standards over here.
Right.
They're the governing body that go to businesses to check everything out.
Right.
They work with the fraud squad.
Right.
So they work across the board with the police for things like that.
Right. See, unfortunately, here in the U.S., we have only one place we can go to, which is the FBI. And it's almost like, and then you have to get the client to do that. And there's so much guilt there. And so I'm like, honey, there is no candle on this planet that's $5,000.
Yeah.
There is no spell that is cast by I don't care who they are. Lady, what is her name? Maxine Saunders, the original Queen of the Witches, does not charge £5,000 for a spell.
While we're talking, I'm going to Google something because I'll tell you about an experiment I done once. But we'll keep talking while I'm...
Because, it's like, get real. Get, candles, oils, herbs, those don't cost that much. Again, and then the work of the practitioner. It can't be that much. It isn't that much.
No.
Like, I'm going to go check out to see if I can find something. There we go. I knew they had a category.
Just to make you aware, Keen is on the top 10 list for the UK psychics.
Oh, how lovely.
I just Googled it now.
Mm-hmm.
And this is how quick it is for us to find out about certain scams that are going on.
Right. And what those scams are, how those scams work, who those scams are. But also, it's so quick and easy to go, okay, who does real work? You want to look for someone that does real work. As far as like real spell work, real, how to do it, what to do it with, that type of thing. You want to make sure you're dealing with someone intelligent. If you are going to hire someone to cook for you, you're not going to hire the woman down the street that's never cooked a day in her life and burns water. You want someone that knows their stuff, but at the same time, you should be doing the work yourself. It's like, I can pray for you, but you'll pray, but, the gods hear your prayers better than mine because you're involved in it. There are spellcasters out there that do fabulous. Fortunica has them, Zodiac has them, and they're not, it's what, $20, $40?
And that's the thing, it's all about getting a good reading with a reader that you click with as well.
Right. very much so. All right, let's take a break, and when we come back, we'll talk about the other catfish.
Try psychic reading on your phone. Your first 3 minutes are free. First, choose a topic or method. Second, choose a psychic. Third, start a call or chat. The first 3 minutes are on us. Install Zodiac Psychics now. Talk to a gifted and trusted psychic advisor.
For so long, everything was difficult because I was allowing it to be and almost finding more comfort in that chaos.
My psychic advisor really helped me stop and take a breath and look within and be okay with what was happening right now.
Having that 24/7 access is amazing. Just a quick moment to get some clarity.
We are here on a journey and we can't always control it. All we can do is be along for the ride.
All right, welcome back. Sorry, guys, we were doing some show research at the same time.
Right. The lady I've come across, I've just gone back through my emails because I'd done an experiment with her because I knew we were going to be doing this week.
Mm-hmm.
Her name is Michelle.
Uh-huh.
She is online as Michelle.
Uh-huh.
I typed in free reading last week and it came up, so I put in all my details.
Mm-hmm.
And she sent me an email which went, "You are troubled, you have money coming to you, this is your life, you're going to be doing this, you're going to be doing that." 2 days later, I had another email saying, "You haven't taken up the offer of paying us £195 for your email reading." When you do things like that, I knew what I was doing, but I was checking. You're signing up, basically, to all the other email reading companies that are all linked together.
Right.
You will get bombarded by these emails constantly.
Right.
Because, and this is going to sound really harsh, most of these emails are computer generated. So the email that I would have had, millions of other people would have had at the same time.
Right. Well, recently, here in the U.S., and they've been dealing with it in UK too. What is her name? There was a psychic 30 years ago that retired, and sold her business, which means she sold her name, all of that. She was an astrologer. Maria DeVille.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So they just finally, the DOJ just finally got the man in Canada that bought her name, bought her email list, and he was like hounding people with letters, the same letters. I see this. Ooh, you're never going to get that from a legit reader.
No.
It's like our chat in here. You're never going to get from a legit. We will get them as they come along. You're not going to get ones in there. They're going to pop in. Hi, send a friend request. Your guides aren't telling them nothing.
No. Never listen when you get an email like that. It's a marketing ploy.
Well, it is, and it's a bad one.
And the other one is Facebook. Oh my good God.
Mm-hmm.
Before you have a reading on Facebook, check the reader out.
Right.
A good psychic will not put up statuses constantly saying, "I've got room tomorrow. I've got room the day after. A good psychic will have a waiting list.
Well, depending on the psychic. Now, we take on demand, honey, so, we sometimes don't have a waiting list.
No, I mean for like Facebook. If
Oh.
you're seeing on Facebook,
Yeah.
I've got space for reading, I've got this for reading. If they seem to have a lot of space for readings, that would set alarm bells with myself. Because a
Right.
good psychic don't have a lot of space.
No, we don't. And it's like tomorrow, no. Like Modern Spiritual, you have to book a day ahead.
Yes.
At least. Like, I don't even know if you can get a reading with me right now. Let me take a look. For tomorrow. I think my first availability is next Tuesday.
Yeah.
Voice session. All right. So, yeah, the earliest you can get an appointment with me is 10:45 tonight. And that is over at Modern Spiritual. But that's because you have to book ahead.
Yes.
I have availability on Keen for on demand. Fortunica, we've been busy. It's sometimes an hour, 2 hour wait for a simple email answer from me.
Yeah.
That's because we are busy with our clients. We have a large client database. We have large clients that connect with us. Sunday I did 92 readings, and I looked at my husband and said, if another day like this, and we're going to have a discussion about buying an assistant.
But some days we are so busy, you forget to eat.
Oh,
because as soon as you've answered a question, there's another one there.
Yeah. As soon as you end one call, there's another reading. And, that happens, and that's normal. But I want to talk about these dating scams.
Yes.
So my normal listeners that have followed me over from PCS Network have heard me talk about Mama Night. She called me with a month ago. Do you know someone named blah, blah? No. I don't either. He says that he used to be our neighbor. Like, no way. There's no way that person was ever our neighbor. Well, he is wanting for me to talk to him and be his friend on Facebook. I said, well, that's your choice, Mom, but he's lying. Because I know everybody on my street, everybody in our neighborhood. It's one of those.
It's a close-knit community.
There's less than 20 houses.
Yeah.
Okay. She calls me up later. He says he's working for the government, been dropped off in Iraq, and none of his cards work. He's wanting me to wire him money. You think I should do that? No, Mother, you shouldn't.
Yeah.
I'll pop in because, I'm a protective son, so I have her passwords.
Yes. As we do it as parents.
Exactly. So I pop in and I look, and this dude is talking to her in live messenger. So I'm sitting there watching the two of them talk. And he's laying it on thick. He's talking about a dog that we never had.
Yeah.
She's talking about the new retirement home she's at that she enjoys very much, and that she's got to get ready to go to the bingo. And he comes back in and goes, oh, blah, 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 blah. And it's everything that you can Google on the area.
Yeah.
I'm like, and I called her back and I said, I've been watching you chat. She says, you're spying on me. I was like, yeah, I'm spying on you. This is a loser. Can we block him?
Yeah.
If you want, watch this. Because if I wasn't, if Mama Night wasn't if I wasn't as protective as Mama Night was, and of her, she could have sent her damn check to him, her banking account information, like he was asking for it right there in Facebook.
There's also an app with Google you can use. A lot of these are men who say, I'm in the forces, I've been sent out here, I'm waiting for money to clear so that I can come home, but can you send me the money to come and visit you? They'll send you a photo of this person who is all dapper in a suit. There's an app on Google that you can actually search the image, and they'll tell you who the image is.
Yes.
There was one this week. This man had said he was a doctor in, I think it was Iran. It was somewhere in that area. And it turned out that the scammers were actually using a dentist from Turkey's photos.
Oh, fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. And for our younger audience, in case they dust off this scam, you get emails. Hi, this is the solicitor from such and such trying to get in contact with such and such. And they'll have your real name.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Now,
The thing is,
uh-huh.
people put too much on social media.
They do. They do. You put a lot on social media and you don't even realize that, people can view that. That's
Yes.
why, a lot of timelines should be set. Like Mama Knight's timeline got set to friends only.
Yeah, that's how mine is set to. It's also set to only people that I'm friends with can
Right.
contact me.
Right. But here's the thing with it. That's why they say send a friend's request.
Yes.
Because
Yeah.
it gets around that friends only because you requested a friend. Now, the new thread is out and we're going to see what happens with it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And where it actually goes to. But I don't know. When I look at all this, it's just like, it's the same scams.
It's the same scam. And this is interesting. If you, like the time zone they reckon they are,
Uh-huh.
you'll see that they'll still keep typing through like a 24-hour period.
Uh-huh.
But you'll notice there's change in the typing type,
Uh-huh.
like in the way they speak.
Mm-hmm.
That's because they're in a ring.
Yeah.
So you're not talking to one person, you're talking to 20 other people who are all connected together doing the same thing.
Right. And that's, and when all that occurs, you have to look at it and go, what? Why are they doing it? It's simple. It's quick, easy money.
Yes. Yeah.
So these are my 3 rules for dating. You can't lay your hands on them within 24 hours. They're not yours.
Yes.
My husband don't get into my purse and take money out of it, so I ain't giving it to anybody.
No. No.
And if never ever give routing and account information.
No. No. The other one I'm seeing a lot as well on the other platform is a lot of people are in long distance relationships. They have been for 3 years, but they've never met the person, and they're wondering when they will.
See, that one for me is a hard one. And here's why. Can you have a long distance relationship? Yes.
You can.
It takes work, it takes effort. Could this actually be happening, that you're in a long distance relationship with someone and you've not met for 3 years? Well, coming out of COVID, yes. But you have to look at the situation.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. I'm really cautious of them relationships. Like the one lady, she hadn't met this man, but yet they've been in this relationship for 3 years.
Yeah.
And it's like, am I ever going to meet him? Well, no, you're not, because for him, he's happy how the situation is. If they didn't want to meet you when COVID rules were lifted, there's not enough yearning there to see you.
Right. And and I can understand like life situations.
Yeah.
Okay. We're in a relationship, but we video chat constantly.
Yeah.
We're on the phone constantly. Notice I said video chat.
Yes. Because that's a massive part. You want to know that who you think you're in a relationship really is that person.
And not some Asian marketer.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because don't forget, guys, you don't just have to do iPhone chat. You can do Zoom. There are many other platforms that offer video chat.
Yeah.
So if they come back and say, oh, I can't do iPhone chat, that's fine. Download Zoom.
Yeah, and it's free.
Yeah. Yeah. Chat on Facebook, because you can do video calls on there.
Yeah, I do them all the time. I do
Yeah.
them all the time with, because, I'm interlinked with people all around the world. Here's an
Yes.
old one for you. I had to re-download the app to connect with this person. Skype still works.
Really?
Yeah,
I'm shocked at that.
I know. I figured they would have died, but no, Microsoft bought them and they're still going just fine.
See? So there's no excuse for not having video chats with
Exactly.
partners that are overseas long term, because
Yeah,
there's so many platforms that are available now.
exactly. The only way that you should not be able to video chat with somebody is if they are in a submarine in the middle of the ocean.
Yes.
Now, if you're a submariner, we get it, we understand it, but guess what? You're going to have to wait till you come above board.
Yes. You're not underwater for 3 years, that's for sure.
Exactly. Um, and I'm sure that the government has a way to video chat under the sea. But
Because they're still going to want to be in contact with their family, so there's going to be some sort of communication.
right, but those are normal long distance relationship things. Having a date via phone happens all the time. It is not 1920 where you're waiting for a letter from the front to arrive, and you're sending letters every day to them, hoping that one of them gets there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Now, let's talk long distance relationships real fast. Complications that occur, time zone issues.
Definitely.
Okay. Cleanliness issues. What I mean by that is they still have to go to the grocery store. They're going to go out with friends and
Yeah.
meet. They're going to go and live their life. You should be too.
Yes. Yes.
Okay. Do I think long distance relationships work? Yes, but they take more work.
Yes. But it shouldn't take 3 years for you to meet the person.
Financially issues, I could understand. But if you're willing to go there and get your own hotel room,
Yes.
then where's the problem?
Yes. You also, before you go into a long distance relationship, you got to make sure you haven't got any trust issues.
Oh, you can't have trust. You've got
No.
you've got to have boundaries. Like, I'm not
Yes.
sending you money.
Yes.
Don't ever ask me for money, because if so, we're over. You're going to video call me like we're normally dating.
Yes.
There's things like Second Life to go on dinner dates at.
And the other thing is, with long distance relationships, don't stick to a schedule.
No.
They should be able to accept calls at random times.
Within reason.
Yeah. Like, I mean, if they don't answer 1 or 2 calls, that's understandable. I've missed calls of, like, when you've sent messages to me.
Yeah.
In Slack. But if there's a continuous, or I can't take your call, or I'm busy, that would raise alarm bells then.
Well, no, here's the thing that would raise alarm bells for me. And this is when I say within reason. Normally, when I'm messaging you, it's my afternoon,
Yeah.
which means you're asleep.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's like, okay, she'll get back to me in the morning.
Yeah. When you're going to bed and I'm getting up.
Yeah, because and this is the things that blows people away. And this is something that if you're in a long-term relationship, you got to figure out. I have a window. If I want to talk to Hazel, I can talk to her between 8 in the morning and 11, because then she goes out to the shops at 11.
Yeah.
And then I can talk to her between 4 and 6.
Yeah.
Because she's coming out of bed. So if I know that about my co-host, and we've only had a few shows, you should know that about your partner. And if those are the windows of operation, i.e., before they go to work, when they get off of work, before they go to bed, you know your windows.
Yeah. But if they start all of a sudden making excuses why you can't chat on video call, why they can't answer your text straight away, then that's time to question, okay, 1 or 2 times is fine. People have appointments. People have things they can't get out of.
Right.
If they say they call you back and they don't, then it's time to wonder, is this for you?
Well, and it's time to wonder, is this relationship reached a point? And this is the other side of that, is distance relationships reach a point
Yes.
when they're not growing anymore because they need the physical connection.
Yes.
You know, an online relationship, a distance relationship can only go so far. And then there needs to be a physical connection or a renewal of a physical connection. So it's one of the two of you has got to get going.
Yes. And the thing is, then that relationship becomes a friendship.
Yes.
That happens in marriages of people who live together as well.
Yeah.
So it happens. It's one of those unfortunate things that happens within relationships.
Yeah. And if you do not have a friendship in a relationship, you're on the wrong ship.
Definitely. Definitely. Me and my friend, we're the best of friends.
Mm-hmm.
She knows where all my paperwork is. If anything goes wrong, I know where her spare key is. That's the type of relationship we have. And we can argue cat and dog. And then 10 minutes later, I send her a text to say, calm down now, Mardy. It's like the argument never happened.
Right.
And we are just friends. And that's how it should be in relationships as well.
Well, and, you know, probably in August, we're going to talk healthy argument. Because there is a way to have a fight. There is a way to raise the roof on your house, and there's a way not to.
Yes. Yes.
And I think that, you know, when talks about this, like we talk about the love, and we talk about the honeymoon phase, when they're all cutesy nightsy and blowing your damn phone up, and you have to put on do not disturb so you can work and all this. But we never talk about when you wake up that one morning and they have not made your coffee, or even worse, they made your coffee with grounds in it. And they come in and they make that cutesy little sound that you love for the first 3 months of your relationship, but you're past that level of niceness.
If somebody says they never argue with their partner, they're liars.
Well, either that or they're very aggressive, passive aggressive.
Yes. Yeah. It's healthy.
Yeah. I say the best relationship I ever saw in my life was this couple. And you would have thought they hated each other. I mean, she dressed him down daily. And I
bet they had the deepest love you would ever have in a relationship.
Yes, but I'm telling you, that man could not keep her happy, and she could not cook him a damn thing that he didn't complain about. And you would have thought, this relationship's headed for divorce. Ooh, she's going to get him with it. You know, I'm going to bury him. He's going to end up in the backyard. I mean, but they loved each other, but that was their way.
Yes.
And they had been through hell. I mean, they had lost children, they had lost jobs, they had lost homes, they 40 years of hell. And they were wonderful.
But they are true love stories.
Right.
People got to remember that a love story isn't built around a fairy tale.
Right. Like, I think that, you know, Cinderella and Snow White both should come with warning labels. This is a fairy tale.
Yeah.
This is this is the Four of Cups. It may turn out better than what you think. But I also think that someone should sit down and write a story about the day after.
Yes.
Happily ever after.
Yeah.
When she wakes up, she's got 2 screaming babies. Prince Charming has ran off to the war.
The house is a mess because she hasn't had time to do anything.
Yes.
That's natural families.
Yeah. And then he rings her and says, I'm bringing the generals home for dinner.
Yeah.
Let's have a ball.
Yeah. You know, you can walk into my kitchen at any time and there's dishes there.
Mm-hmm.
My house is a lived-in house.
Yeah.
That's how families live. If
Yeah.
people say, oh, well, my house is never like that, my house is this, my house is that, and then I'm thinking, right, okay, but
You
what
live in
type
it?
of, yeah, and what type of family do you have? Do you sit down and have pajama days? Do you
Mm-hmm.
sit down, have a cup of coffee, leave your mug on the side?
Uh-huh.
That's what relaxation is.
Yeah. And I don't think that some people get it.
No.
They have this beautiful dream that has been painted by the TV shows and the storybooks and the romance novels.
Yeah.
Brene Brown has a theory, and we've applied it in both my relationships. Relationships aren't 50-50. Storybooks say they're 50-50. Some days they're 90-20.
Yes.
Some days they're 90-10. Some days they're 30-20 and McDonald's.
Yeah. I always get people throw me star signs and say, are we compatible? That drives me crazy. Because a star sign is a guide. It don't actually define the person.
Well, here's this thing that gets me. First of all, I don't care where you were born. Well, I do, but let me put it to you this way. If you're an Aries, that's nice. Where's your Venus if you're the feminine energy of the couple?
Yeah.
Where's his Mars at? Are they conjunctive or opposed? Guess what? You know how you find out if you're compatible? You order a compatibility chart. You can get that through any of my services. You can find me. I provide them. And it'll tell you you're compatible. Me and Techie Joe, we are compatible in every area except one. We cannot handle money together.
Yeah.
He handles one department, I handle the other. Because our Jupiter and our Venus are opposed to each other. I like things pretty and simple, and he likes to know how much something costs by the ounce. And I don't got time for that.
But that's how a good relationship works. You make compromises.
Right. You work on
And
each other's strengths.
And that's what relationships are. They're massive compromises.
Yes. And negotiations.
Yes. Yes.
Sometimes the compromise is the negotiation.
Yeah.
I hate, oh God, what is it? I call it pine salt. It's that green stuff that goes on pasta and it's made with pine needle. I hate that stuff. He loves it. He can have all the pesto he wants. I will enjoy my bratwurst and, with chilies and sauces on top of them. And he's looking at me like, that's awful. And I'm like, no, it's fucking delicious.
Yeah. Yeah. But that's how compromises are.
Yeah.
You need these differences. It'd be boring if you both liked the same things and both done the same things.
I dated someone like that. They became a stalker.
See?
They created a movie called, what is it? Oh, God. Fatal Attraction.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's the other thing to be aware of, guys. If you're stalking someone, we will tell you.
Yeah, exactly.
If you're doing something wrong, if you're checking his social media constantly, if you want to check his phone, we'll tell you that's wrong.
Yeah. And we'll talk about you wearing your mate's dirty underwear, i.e. checking his phone.
Yes.
Okay?
Yes.
And spying on his phone. No. Don't be doing that crap. That is not why you build a relationship. No. First of all, you touch my phone, I'll break your hand. Second off, you don't need to be doing that. That doesn't spawn a loving relationship.
If you're doing that, walk away from the relationship now.
Yeah, because you're not.
It's not. No.
All right, guys, we've reached the top of our hour. It's been great. Hazel, what are you on? What are you doing this week?
Well, to be honest, I haven't had time to go on to psychics, on Zodiac psychics. I've been so busy on Fortunica.
Tell me about it. Like, you've been blazing trails over there, breaking records.
I'm hoping that's going to slow down this week so that I can go back on Zodiac.
Mm-hmm.
Because I really need to build my platform up over there. But this is going to sound horrible. My first love is Fortunica.
Well, and as it should be. That's where you come from.
Yeah, that's the site I've worked on since they started. And to me, that's the site that gets my loyalty.
Right. Now, let me see. Because, Zodiac's got some sales running. I don't see when they are.
Guys, can I ask when you come?
It's not till the 15th, 16th. It's the weekend offer, the 50% off your next reading.
So that's Saturday and Sunday.
Yep.
I know Fortunica has an offer for new clients.
Right. Well, and both of them do. Both of them you get 50%. I think you get on Zodiac you get 3 minutes free. And Fortunica, which is app-based, you guys remember, Fortunica is the one you have to download. Homepage. What do you got? Oh, and by the way, I am the feature advisor this week over there. You were last week.
Was I? See, They don't tell me these things.
Yeah, like I commented that my co-host is the best one there. Let me see. 60% cheaper if you subscribe. They actually have a subscription service.
Yeah.
$1.99. Let's hit this welcome offer. What is it? I think it's $1.99 for 2 questions.
Yeah. But guys, don't keep opening new accounts.
Please don't.
Because we connect with the first account that you join with.
Uh-huh.
And that's how we work, because we are connected with that account, if that makes sense.
Right. And here's the thing, you're going to get better offers as you're with them.
Yes.
Yeah. So what are we talking about next week?
Next week, we have... We've mixed our weeks up.
Okay, that's fine.
We've put 2 weeks in one.
Okay. That happens.
So we are going to have to go with alternative self-care.
Yeah, psychic self-care. So let's talk about that. Awesome. All right, guys, we will see you next week with psychic self-care and alternative self-care. You guys have a great week, and we'll see you later. Bye.
Bye.